Latin 1. So let's take a look at chapter 20. We are now still on the Appian Way. The carriage is still in the ditch, but we're learning the perfect tense, and there's more vocab to be learned. So, page 159, chapter 20, chance encounter. This is maybe the first page, the first time that we turn pages too, I forget. So, number one, or line one, manserunt. Manserunt. Okay, that's from maneo, manere, mansi, mansurum. You need to write out all four principal parts on your card. Okay, manserunt, they stayed. It's where we get remain from. It's where we get mansion from. It's a place where you stay. Next word is post. Post. And since post is not part of Sid space, it takes the accusative. Post is what we use to say after. Postpartum, postmortem. Well, that really took it from life to death. So post means after. Medius aum. Medius aum. That means the middle. It could be mid if you're talking about, middle of the night or midnight. Nox noctis is feminine. Nox noctis, it's feminine. You could tell because media nox, the middle of the night or midnight. Licet ne nobis, so cover up the ne, and you've got licet. And licet means it is allowed. So cross out the may we. It is allowed. It always occurs in the third person singular. It's always impersonal. It's always it is. Okay, kind of like nekese est. And it always takes a dative. And it'll take a dative and a complementary infinitive. So they're asking the ne, that makes it a yes-no question. So is it allowed for us? And then it's like cenare, hic cenare, to eat here. Okay. Next one is paulisper. Paulisper. This is for a short time. Esto. Esto. It's all right. Okay. Misisti. Misisti. Now, this is mito, mitera, misi, misum. And this is where we get permission, submission, admission, admonish. No, that's a different one. Mission, actually, a thing. You send people out to go do a thing. Missile comes from this. So the next one, voluimus. Now notice there's like one letter difference between this and volumus. So voluimus is the perfect of volovele, and it's we wanted. Okay, and by the way, with misisti it says you have sent, you sent, or you did send. Okay, you don't get to use the word have. Like strike that from any and all that you see. The next one we see anim. Anim. Now anim means for, as in they were out of eggs for their hen had died. Okay. But the thing you need to know about anim is this. It is always the second word in a sentence. So it's just kind of a weird stylistic thing with the word anim. And it means for. It's similar to nam, but nam you don't have to worry about that. Next one, dum devorant. Dum devorant. I don't know why they give you this. I mean, you already know devoro, devorare means to devour. And if not, now you know. But notice that they're putting it in the past tense. I want you to cross that out. It's while they devour. Okay, it's not while they were devouring. While they devour. Miles, militis. Miles, militis. This is a noun. It just means soldier. Okay. This is where we get military, militia, militant, all those kinds of words. Vir optime. Vir optime. This means sir, and really what it is, this is the vocative of best man, best fellow, gentleman, good fellow. Vir optime. This is with the monocle and the sash. Okay. Optimus aum. Optimus aum. This means the best. Okay. It's where we get optimistic, optimal, Optimus Prime. Turn the page. In hanc calponam. In hanc calponam. Now notice that this is accusative. So in plus the accusative is into, right? So into this in. Okay, hanc comes from hic haec hoc. Next word is numquam, which is one of my favorite words. Numquam means never. Now the best part is if you took the n off of numquam, you'd have umquam. And umquam means ever. because you also took the N off of never. So despite it being totally different language groups and 2,000 years apart, we still have the same thing. Okay, numquam. And if you put a non in front of numquam, you'd have non numquam, which means sometimes, because it's not never. Sometimes. But anyway, numquam. Next one, antea. Antea, this means before. This is adverbial, so this is telling us when or where something is. Much more often it's when it happened. It's happened before this. If it was before, like I stand before you, I would use praeter. I'd use a preposition. Dico, dicere, dixi, dictum. You've already seen this verb, but just in case, dico, dicere, dixi, dictum. This is where we get diction, dictation, dictator, yeah, all those words. So there you go. You now have to say or to tell. Elam. Elam. Now, elam is referring to fabulam in this case, so it means that famous, but it really just means that. So if you heard that story, and everybody would know what story, so it's kind of that famous story. That's from ile, ila, ilud. Take a look at fabula, fabulae, feminine. Fabula, fabulae, feminine. You're telling fabulous stories. Okay. Narratusaum, narratusaum. That is that which has been told. It's from naro, narrare. So the story told by someone. Neko, necare, nekawi, nekatum. Okay. Neko, necare, nekawi, nekatum. This means to kill. That's where we get necrotic, necropolis, necromancer, people who fall in love with dead giraffes, things like that. And then the very bottom verb, naro, narare, narawi, naratum. And you got to put all four parts on your verb on your cards. Now, if you take a look at page 161, you see. I'm just making sure. Yeah, you take a look at page 161. You see ile. Ile means that, but it can also mean he, like that guy over there. Hairy means yesterday. So yesterday I was hairy, today I shaved. In my case, that's not true, but you get the idea. Postquam. This means after, but like you're telling a story about a sequence of events, and after which this happened, right? And hike can also be the plural, because it looks like a feminine singular, which means it also looks like a neuter plural. So these things, or this, okay? So translated as these things, that's probably a better way to do it. All right, so what I want you all to do is read page 164, and then read page 168 through 171, and then come back to page 160 and copy this chart down again, and then do exercise 20B, as in puer. And all you got to do is fill in the blanks and then translate the whole thing. Now, copy down the chart, because then 20B is a lot easier. So, ego liberos in horto petivi, tu eos in silva invenisti. And then translate in the appropriate tense. I sought the children in the garden. You sought them, or you discovered them, or found them in the forest. Okay? This was exceptionally long, but now you know how to do it. All right, I'm going to hit the button.